death has come to your little town, Sheriff.
So, my name is Anda. I like creepy shit. That's what this channel's all about. Are you recording? You better be recording. Hey! I filmed a video yesterday to post up today, and I was editing it this morning and I was like, holy shit, this is so boring. Nobody's gonna want to watch this. So I was like, well, I guess I'm not gonna post anything today because it's late in the day. I don't know what to do. And I was looking through my books and my eye kept being drawn to a few books that I've read quite a few times, and I thought, why not make a video of just the books that I like to read over and over again? There are different reasons that I like reading these books in particular, and maybe we'll get to those reasons, and maybe it's just because I like them. I don't know. Anyways, so the first book that I can read over and over again is Jane Eyre. And I know what you're thinking, Anda, that's not a horror book. Well, you know what? I think you are wrong. I mean, obviously it's a love story about Jane Eyre and Mr. Rochester, and I'm not a romantic kind of gal. I don't like reading romance. I don't like watching romantic comedy. Blah. Jane Eyre is different. There are elements of horror in it. I mean, the entire house fire, the wife, and it's just a book I can read over and over again. And you know, Jane Eyre plus Mr. Rochester forever, okay? Yeah, I said it. Another book that I can read over and over again is not a book, it's a play. So my favorite Shakespeare play is Hamlet. Hamlet is just really dark, you know? Mostly everybody dies at the end. There are a handful of people left over when the play is finished. I love the character of Hamlet. I think he's very intelligent, and no, I don't think he's crazy. And you know, it's just fucking good. And if you want to read a really intense tragedy, this is a really great place to start. The next book that I can read, like I can read all of them. The next book that I've read quite a few times that I love is George Orwell's 1984. So this novel, interesting fact, was actually written when George Orwell, like near the end of George Orwell's life, when he was suffering from, I want to say tuberculosis, but I don't know if that's right. So he was kind of in isolation the last few years of his life. Now this is obviously a political novel. It has to deal with an oppressive government. It's just this dystopian, oppressive society. But it is interesting to think about how Orwell himself was in isolation while writing this, and wondering how that affects the outcome of the book. The next book is actually a short story, and it is from Sir Edgar Allan Poe. I love Poe with all my heart, but one short story in particular stands out to me, and that is The Cask of Amontillado. The reason I love that story in particular is because every time I read it, I find something else that I didn't know was there before, you know? So just by analyzing like the way that he lays the bricks at the end, or the conversation between the two men, you find a lot of details out about the story. It turns it into like kind of a more fucked up story, like, you know, you're being told that a story of revenge essentially. But I mean, the main character is still talking about this years later. So you're thinking like, did you really get your revenge? Or, you know, are you the one that's on the receiving end of the revenge, you know, if you're the one that's still thinking about this years later? The Cask of Amontillado is just a very interesting story. I know that there are others that I can't think of off the top of my head, but these were just a few that skimming through my books are the books that I've probably read the most often. Oh, I just thought of one more. Hold on. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Fight Club! Come on, this is such a staple from the early 90s. When was this published? 96, mid to late 90s. Fight Club. So, I mean, I think everybody has read this, right? You should. You should. It's good shit. Anyways, I've read this a ton of times. I'm actually a huge Palahniuk fan, but I only have a few Palahniuk books left. I've moved 5 times in the past 4 years, and throughout that my books have kind of just gone away. I don't know. I've lost them. I don't know. I really don't know. Low battery. Shit. I know that I've lent a lot of Palinick books to other people. I know that I've lent like Choke, Invisible Monster, probably Lullaby because I don't even see that. The only ones that I see are Doomed, Survivor, and I think I do have Haunted still. And I can't read the title. And actually I just had to re-buy Fight Club because I lost my Fight Club too. This is another one that's just, you can't not read it. So I'd say that those are pretty much my go-tos. Poe, Palahniuk, Orwell, Bronte, Shakespeare. Those are just some of my favorites. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Okay, again, the shit stopped recording, so I don't know what the fuck. Why do you hate me, camera?